Okay, so today we're going to learn how to graph exponential functions. And so here's the first thing that you want to do every single time you graph. So every single time you graph, you're going to make an XY chart. And that's the easiest thing to be able to graph functions, because basically what we're doing when we're graphing is we're putting in an X into this thing and we're seeing what kind of Y spits out. So we put in some X and we see what kind of Y spits out. Nice part for this is you can pick any X values that you want. So this can be any number. And we'll see what kind of number comes out on this other side. Then the numbers that you want to pick is both negative and positive numbers. So you want both negative and positive. And if you think about why, is that if you only had positive numbers, it'd be like you're covering up this entire side of the graph and you wouldn't have any idea what happened on that. And we don't want to cover that side of the graph up. So we're going to have to put both negative and positive numbers. So the numbers that I generally pick are -2, whoops, that's really big still, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And we'll plug those in for the X values and see what we get. So when I plug that in, I would have 2 times 3 to the -2nd power. If we remember from before, 3 to the -2nd power would be 2 times 1/9, or this would give us 2/9. So this would be our first point, -2, 2/9. We'll go over to the graph and try to graph that, and that's not going to be very high up, so it's right about there. Okay. We'll do the same thing with -1. So we'll plug that in and we'll have 2. One-third, because anything to the negative power means to divide, so I'll have 2 over 3. So that's going to be a little bit higher up, like closer to 1. So again, on this graph, it's kind of hard to plot that. I know it's not exactly 1, but it should be pretty close to there. Now we're going to have 2 times 3 to the 0 power. Well, that's going to give me 3 to the 0 power will be 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now we can see, okay, that's going to be right about there. And again, I'm getting these points because the first thing is the X values, and we got to pick those, and we could pick any number. And we wanted to have both positive and negative, so we got the negative side of the graph. Kind of looks like it's doing one of these things. Now let's see what the positive side is doing. That'd be 2, and 3 to the first is 3, so that's all the way up at 6. So 1, 6, and then the last one, 2 times 3 to the 2nd, which is 2 times 9, which is 18, which would be all the way up here. So now we get to see the shape of the graph, which looks something like this. It makes kind of like this L curve that way, which is interesting. Okay, let's try one more graphing example, and you're actually going to do this on a piece of paper today, which something will look like this, and you're going to have to fill in these boxes and actually graph these, and then you're going to answer some questions about like, oh, like where's the y-intercept for this graph, and why didn't I include like negative numbers down here? So a good question is, most times when you graph different things, you have negative and positive numbers down here, but for these graphs I haven't put anything down here. So we'll try one more example so you can kind of see the pattern. Again, we have a function, and anytime we have a function that we need to graph, we want to plug in numbers for x. And again, we can pick any numbers. I like to pick the numbers -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 because they're easy. And again, you need positive and negative numbers so you don't cover up half the graph. And we're just going to plug this in. So 3 to the -2nd would be 1 over 9. 3 to the -1st would be 1 over 3. 3 to the 0 would be 1. 3 to the 1st would be 3. and 3 to the second would be 9. Now let's see what points we got. We got negative 2 comma 1/9, negative 1 comma 1/3, 0 comma 1, 1 comma 3, and 2 comma 9. Now we would just graph these. 2 1/9 is barely visible. It's not very high up. Negative 1 comma 1/3 is a little bit higher. This one happened at 1, so not very high up. 1 to 3 is right there, and 2 to 9 is right here. So again, it kind of makes the same kind of L shape that we had before. And let's see, like, as you go through this, we're going to see if we notice any patterns and if we can kind of graph it faster, like we did for y equals mx plus b. Because we didn't actually have to make these charts for y equals mx plus b. We knew this was slope and this was our y-intercept. So it would actually be really nice in these problems if we knew what this number is and this number represents. So that's what your goal for today is going to be when you work through these sheets, is to try to figure out, like, is this my y-intercept, or is this my y-intercept? Is this my slope, or is this my slope? So that's kind of what you're going to try to figure out today. So try the different problems.